Let's take the timing cover off and look at the timing chain. I might take the heads off too, but I'll put my compression stuff away. So I got 3 good cylinders here and 2 over here, and then I got something on the back, and these front and rear on the other side that are got some compression, but not a lot. I think it wouldn't hurt to look inside that motor. It might be kind of fun too. Yeah, might be kind of fun. So let's put that in there, and this in here, and put this back in here. Oh, looks like I might have dropped a piece and something was there maybe, but no. Oh yeah, that would be this piece I stuck down in here, wouldn't it? That right there goes right there. I'm guessing. Nice set right there. Got that out at the Sears store before they went out of business. It's been several years ago now. Yeah, let's put some tools away and gather up some others. And then we'll see where we want to go next. I hear my old bird friend out there. Y'all hear him? Apparently he's found me. He's over here talking to me again. When you take the timing chain cover off, there's 2 screws down here that go up into here on the bottom of that. If you have never done one before, especially if you're trying to do it leaning over the hood of a Chevy where everything's in your way, it's real easy not to see that, and it'll make you crazy. You think you got all the screws, nuts, and bolts out of there, and you ain't. My 7/16 socket is missing. I got a friend that borrows my tools sometimes, and sometimes I come up missing a tool, and I don't like to think it's because my friend didn't put them back, or didn't put them back in the right place, or lost them. So I hold on to that thought, but I don't think it. You know, it's like one of those thoughts you get in the back of your brain, but say I'm not gonna let that thought be thought, because I don't want to believe that my friend would have mislocated my good 7/16 inch socket. Yeah, that's the way I think. That's what these are. These are 7/16. I need to get me one. I'll be right back. I'm pretty much blessed with a goodly set of tools. My mom and dad started me off early. They bought me back in days you could buy just a regular Craftsman tool set, you know, for 50 bucks or something. And it was all of your standard. We didn't have metric back then. So it was all of your standard sockets, ratchets, 1/2-inch drive, 3/8 drive. And it's also a full set of wrenches. And like I say, there was no metric, so everything was just standard. And with that basic tool set, you had a pretty good start on being a mechanic. Of course, when my dad, you know, over the years, I bought more tools, and then when my dad passed away, I gave Josh a lot of his tools, but I kept some too. And then now I tend to, when I'm in a flea market or yard sale, if I see somebody's got some good Craftsman tools for sale, I tend to, if they're half, you know, reasonable price, I'll buy them just so I'll have them. So I try to keep enough tools, that way if somebody does use my tools and they lose or misplace one, you know, then it doesn't keep me from getting work done. I still got more. Of course, then we moved down to Georgia and set up shop down there, so I actually went out to Walmart and bought some tools, and they worked pretty good for a while, but the other day, just before I left down there, I was working on something, and I stripped one of the cheap sockets out, and I thought, yeah, that's the way that works. Went to Harbor Freight and got some. I think they might have been a little better. Nowadays, people have caught on that you know, the good tools are worth something, and you can't hardly buy them cheap. Every so often, you'll run across a yard sale, find somebody that will sell them to you pretty cheap, but most of the time, not so much. But of course, nowadays, you know, the way cars are made, I mean, I don't even know what you need for tools nowadays. I think you need an electric gizmo to plug your car into, you know, and have to have a brain surgery. I'd probably have to have a brain transplant to try to figure out how to work on a car nowadays. This is the way they made and all. Here, doesn't want to go on there. Sometimes they'll get bent. The cover here could get bent and cause you not to be able to get a socket to go on there. Have to be a little forceful with it. There she goes. Alright. Let me get a screwdriver. We'll pop that timing cover off. I'm not much of a hurry here. When I got that Cadillac motor running, I was kind of going for hit or miss because I knew I didn't have the wherewithal to redo that motor, and I just really want to see if it run. I threw I might have to loosen the oil pan to get over in there. Sometimes your this front of this cover here kind of goes down in that pan. Sometimes you have to take the first 2 or 3 screws out here. Let's see. I believe it might be a bigger size out here. Yeah, it's 1/2 inch, right? That one's 1/2 inch. These might be 9/16 out here. Or maybe not. That's surprising. That's also a 7/16. Okay, I can live with that. I guess that has a bigger screw on the end where it's got that 1/2 inch right up against the end of the timing cover. And the smaller ones back in here. I shouldn't have to take all these out. Usually you just kind of loosen them and drop that down. Oh, the joy. Once I could go ahead and drain the oil out of this, then I could flip it over. But I just want to take a little peek here. I don't want to get too far into this today, but I might change my mind about that if it's fun. If it's kind of fun, I might just keep going. Oh, the joy. All right. Okay. Now I'll show you what a loose timing chain looks like. That, my friend, is pretty darn loose right there. Yep, sure is. Alright, I think the next thing I'm going to do is pop this head off. I might move some tools out of the way before I do that, and wipe my hands off a little bit, and then yeah, and then I might get a hair wrench to do that with too. Oh, the joy. Oh, the joy.